You know, you gotta give James Wan cred. He breathed life into two dead franchises, Aquaman and Small Wonder.
You should probably run.
The original Twilight Breaking Dawn baby is running amok in M3GAN. I apologize I didn't get a chance to review this before it came out. During a week I was off, so sadly I didn't get a chance to look at it, but everyone's been saying, holy smokes, you gotta see this movie, so I figure, yeah, I gotta see this movie. January is usually a dead zone for films, but M3GAN is really doing some good numbers. From the minute the trailer dropped, everybody was fascinated by it. Is it a joke? Is it not? A lot of people thought it was a fake trailer and couldn't believe it was a real movie. Well, I'm happy to say it is real, and it's fantastic. If you're going in with the right mindset. Okay, so here's the thing about this movie. A lot of people are going and they're enjoying it and they're having a good laugh, but I've also heard from some people saying, what's fun about this? What's enjoyable about this? This is like a million other movies like this. It's kind of dull. It's not really doing anything that different. And okay, if you're not laughing your ass off at just the picture of M3GAN, this film is not for you. This is a film that is campy like a lot of people are saying, but it's not done in a way like, say, Adam West's Batman is campy, where they always know it's silly and it's over the top and everything. What makes this film so much fun is that it is playing it straight. My guess is that they're aware that it looks ridiculous and it's funny, but the comedy of it comes from the fact that they have to play it like it's a legit horror film, like this is legitimately scary. And while I can't say it's scary, look at M3GAN, she's pretty creepy. And what makes her so fun is that even if the effects are bad, which sometimes they are kind of bad in this, especially when they CG the face on her, it just kind of makes her even more creepy. It's the equivalent of watching Polar Express, except this time you're purposefully supposed to get nightmares. That's the level this works on. You're supposed to laugh, you're supposed to be unnerved by it and kind of having a good time at sometimes how fake it looks, but sometimes how, I don't want to say real it looks, but enjoyably artificial it comes across.
Nice to have a friend.
It's honestly like she's part of the family now.
That part of the family you say, I'm gonna have to kill you in a week or two. This is a film where half of the running time I heard people snickering and giggling and covering their mouths, trying not to let too much laughter out, and the other half of the theater was like, what are you laughing at? Why is this funny? This isn't enjoyable at all. And so I get the feeling that if you're going into this with a mindset like you're gonna get something kind of new and kind of different, and it's gonna be a crowd pleaser that pleases everybody, you're not gonna get that. Honestly, the script for this film, I can't say is bad, but I can't say it's good either. It's fine. All of the enjoyment from this movie comes from the effect of M3GAN herself, or a collection of good effects and bad effects. And I would argue the acting, particularly from Allison Williams in this. She plays an aunt that suddenly has to take care of her niece, and the whole setup is that she's kind of always in her own little world. She's always kind of distracted, and it's done in a way that's very believable, like you totally buy she's always somewhere else. She's not in the present moment, so she's not doing a very good job looking after her niece, but at the same time, you kind of wonder why she doesn't hand off the kid to somebody else, but you get a sense from her performance that she feels like she should handle this. She should be on top of helping this kid out because her sister has passed away, but this just seems like the type of person who would create M3GAN. Somebody who does not have time for other people, so actually make somebody else to have time with other people. Once in a while, that can be a bad thing. Like, there's one or two moments where you can tell she's supposed to really be connecting with her niece, and she still kind of has that strange, distant way of talking to people, and you know she's supposed to make more of a connection with her. So once in a while, I feel like they could have mixed it up a little bit, but for the majority of the movie, I feel like it works. And this is not a movie that's particularly long. This is a film that introduces its idea very quickly, has fun with it, takes advantage of how strange a setup this is, and then just kind of pisses off.
You're my niece. I'm gonna do everything I can to make this place feel like home.
Liam James is happy. She's finally acting along something that's more Uncanny Valley than Christopher Walken as Captain Hook. So I don't think it's going to leave that much of like an emotional connection. Even the commentary, though I'm glad there is commentary at all, is very predictable about don't let technology raise children, or even to an extent yourself, too much. But I feel like this whole setup of a killer doll, not only, yes, has been done with Child's Play, but the idea of a robotic doll was really more of an 80s thing with Teddy Ruxpin. But I feel like by adding this kind of AI, human, Uncanny Valley-ish thing going on, it does make it a little contemporary, because we see this in YouTube videos where we see somebody that almost looks human talking, and they're not quite there yet. In fact, they still have several steps, but M3GAN still has that Uncanny Valley that's both really funny and kind of unsettling at the same time.
Hi, M3GAN. I'm Katie.
I'm Krusty the Clown, and I'm going to kill you.
I can honestly think of only one moment where I feel like the movie kind of broke out of its mold and said, okay, we're just gonna be silly just to be silly, and that is when she does this weird little dance. It's out of nowhere, nothing really leads up to it, but it's hilarious. And it's not even that long a scene, it's just a short little scene, but it's riding the adrenaline of the scenes that came before, that when it actually happens, it does get a major laugh.
I dreamed of this perfect toy that would protect a kid from ever feeling lonely or sad.
And maybe, just maybe, give her sleep paralysis. Anything that doesn't work in this movie, you could just as easily argue is supposed to not work. For me, I don't really get into the CG face that they put on her. I think it's much more fun and creepy when you just have that plastic mold that's just moving its lips, and the eyes don't always move correctly. Sometimes one will move faster than the other. That's more fun and more creepy for me, but I think there is kind of this nostalgic creepiness for that Uncanny Valley CG face. Like I said, a lot of people grew up on Polar Express and films like that, so I think having that very clearly plastered on top, this flat face on top of this three-dimensional body, it's just all sorts of different effects that are supposed to not work. But yes, I feel like some people are going into this movie expecting Expendables 2, where there's a lot of one-liners and winking at the camera, and they're more gonna get Expendables 1, where you're kind of wondering if they're in on the joke or if they're trying to take it seriously. And I think by the time you leave, you have to be aware that they're having fun with you, that they're just having a good time, but so much of that comes from everybody just playing it totally legit. I know I've said this a million times on this show, but it really is one of those movies where if you watch the trailer and you're entertained, you're probably going to be entertained by the movie. If you watch and say, that looks really stupid, I think I'm going to hate that, it's going to be really stupid and you're really going to hate it. I don't know, in my opinion, it's pretty cool that recently I feel like we've gotten two brand new movie monsters, Art the Clown and M3GAN. Like, I feel like these two are destined to be in horror movie slasher lineups, and I couldn't be more thrilled about it. So I'm gonna give it 3 out of 4 cricket dolls. If you're looking for a film that's hokey but pretending it's not hokey, this is a perfect one to check out. With all that said, what did you think? Are you getting into the craze like everyone else is? Do you think it's just super fun and really hilarious and just really rides the corniness? Or do you think it's really falling short and not giving what it's promising, that it's not really creative or new or anything that fun? Or are you somewhere in between where you think, you know what, it's January, I'm just glad I'm seeing something of some quality? Let me know your thoughts and I'll see you next time. Take care.